Hey guys, Sunday again, same outfit. We're just shooting video today. The flies in here are just giving her. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty on this Super XL. This recoil, I need to redo it. I'm probably just gonna throw some parts off the saw we just blew up onto it just to get this thing running. Okay. I definitely need to see what's going on here. I'm just going to angle you down. First things first, I want it to see it has all kinds of compression. I'm happy with that, and we're going to see what's what here. I'm going to pull the carb off my other saw, the one we blew up, and put it on this. And this is unbolted. I'm going to have to find a screw and remount all this stuff. It was just loose under there. I don't know if this coil is still good, so we might have to put a coil off. Oh, that might fit. We might put a coil off a 266 on there. That would be interesting, eh? See, that's why you gotta have lots of part saws. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna kind of jump in and out with you. I got to put a spark plug boot on this, and we're building this saw, and we're gonna make this thing run. So I noticed the fella rigged up a neat little fuel line here, so that's something I don't have to deal with. It looks kind of small. We'll see if it delivers enough fuel. And but yeah, I'm gonna put the carb on this and go from there. Hopefully the gaskets are good. These kind of projects take a lot of time. You got to make gaskets, and you're finding things broken, and so yeah, we're gonna go from there, and I'll get back at you when I'm a little closer to getting this thing running. We got to get it running first and see how it runs before we start porting it, and then we're gonna measure the numbers, the squish. We're going to decide timing numbers, because we just took apart that last saw and the rod's no good. So now we're like, I turned it up as hot as I was comfy with. It was obviously too hot. And sometimes turning them up too hot, they don't run as strong as if you toned it down, believe it or not, because those parts are working. And remember, you turn it up too hot, too much RPM. If that crank's under load, it's going to stress the crank, make more heat. The saw's going to lean out. It's just a vicious circle, guys. So be careful with your timing numbers. Okay, 130 super. We're going to see if we can get this thing running, and then we're going to port it again. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I had to find a screw. Nice thing about Homelites is it's all standard fasteners. We're going to put this coil on. I don't know if this thing's going to have spark. So Homelites are notorious for bad coils. So you got to take the spark plug end off the boot and fish it through. Let's see if we can get the saw running. The beauty is, if you're going to do a project like this, buy up saws in numbers. So that way you have a lot of parts. Buy those saws that just look like junk, because you'd be surprised, little fasteners and whatever, right? Little fasteners, nuts, bolts, screws, that stuff adds up. And for me, being rural, I mean, if I got to go to the store to get parts, that's less time I'm wrenching on saws and more time I'm spending at the store. So coil screws are missing on this saw. So we gotta find something that fits. I know this will fit. Well, we'll rig it up with this for now, guys. We need to get this saw running. That'll be alright. Don't fuss over the details, guys. These old saws, they are what they are. They're old, and a lot of parts aren't available, and they're gonna be missing parts, and you gotta make do with what you got, and you know, do the best you can, right? They're old. It's like driving an antique car, right? It's not for everybody. You do got to wrench more on stuff like this, but they're enjoyable. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, it's worth it, right? So these builds take a lot of time, but I really enjoy these old saws. Sometimes I just want to port a saw that I know is going to work. It's all in what mood you're in. That's why you need 20 saws, because you have 20 different frames of mind sometimes, depending on what you're cutting and conditions. Sometimes I run a lightweight, a 60cc saw if I'm clearing brush lines, lots of blowdowns. I want something that's light and fast, because you know those logs might only be 8-10 inches. Why carry around a big saw if you're just cutting small timber, right? So okay, this is working. Okay, I got that. Let's put our kill switch wire in. We're going to mount a 76 recoil. We will steal the guts from a 76 recoil and make a 130 recoil. Because I kind of like the looks of that over this. Even though they're the same recoil, I like the block lettering. I just think they look better. Flywheel's in wicked shape on this thing, unlike the other one that we had. I was having problems with those starter dogs. They were causing me grief. That one would over travel and would get stuck, and then you only have a single dog, which would cause the starter to jump, which it's not good for anything. Find me a screw that fits here. I don't know why, but Homelites are always missing recoil screws. The ones here are anyways. I think it's because they vibrate a lot. But again, this stuff doesn't have to make sense. It's just fun, right? And we're doing this for fun. Are you gonna go make a living with this saw? I guess you could if you're really into it, but it's like, this is just fun. This is that kind of saw that puts a smile on your face. Bucking spikes are missing off of these. I don't know why people take them off in this province all the time. We're going to rip this muffler off because it's full of junk and carbon. I don't want to run this saw with that in there. We're going to put the muffler off the 76 on. It is the exact same muffler. This muffler's falling off anyways, so it's probably good that we did that. Every one of these I've had, guys, the mufflers tend to rattle loose. Put a little Loctite on them. No exhaust gasket. Okay. Here's the muffler off of the 76. We're just gonna run this thing briefly, or not. I guess it depends on whether it wants to run or not, right? We're gonna run this thing briefly and go from there. This thing is also missing a muffler bolt here, I noticed. Let's put that spark plug boot on while you guys can see it. Easy way to do this. Take your boot, bend it, see that? Bend it, pull your wire through the boot, and with sausage fingers like I have, do it on camera in a fumbly way so that you look like you don't know what you're doing. It's funny, guys, I watch myself on camera sometimes and I'm just like, wow. I think that's natural though. I think nobody likes themselves on camera. Okay, put the wire end on, clip it on. There'll usually be a little hole there, or make a hole. And then pull, pull the boot and the wire right through. Let's try that again. This is one of those things you can fumble with sometimes, or at least I do. It'll go next time. How's everybody doing today? I feel pretty good. Up super early again today. Got lots of things I want to get done, and it's fall, and oh, see, this isn't working. This time of the year I'm typically the busiest. I'm just going to bend this spark plug end a little bit more. Pretty busy this time of the year. Fall in a northern climate is a time of preparing for winter. Winter is a time of hibernation, spending a lot of time inside. It's super cold here. I mean, it's nice. Nothing's better than a beautiful winter day, walking around in the snow, and I'll do some film. You guys can see. There you go. Just pull it through. But yeah, you got to get equipment ready. I got to get my skid steer ready for winter. See what we got here. Compression's not crazy. It's good. Like, it's, again, do the test. It's not terrible. It's got good thump, so we'll leave it like that. Yeah, I gotta get my skid steer ready for pushing snow. I'm sure there'll be some snow clearing videos this winter. I do from time to time run loader, Cat 950 G or H. G and H is just the, they use like letters to designate the year of them. So it's a newer cat, not super new, but like 38,000 pound loader, big old girl. I do run one of those from time to time. If I do this winter, I just do it for fun. If he needs an extra guy, I'll jump in the cab. If I do that this winter, I'll be sure to film it. I love running heavy machinery. It's just fun. It's not something I do for a living, but it's a lot of fun to hop in the cab of something that size and rip around and drive into the storm. So watch for that this winter, and if I do it, I'll be sure to show it. Exhaust cover. I made the mistake yesterday of firing up the 922 XL with no muffler on it, and let me tell you guys, even outside, that's loud. That's like, wow, is that loud. So I'm being sure to put this muffler on, because loud music, construction, chainsaws, motorcycles, all those things are not conducive to ear health, and I definitely have a fair share of hearing damage, so I'm very, very careful of my hearing. You will never see me run a saw without hearing protection on. I just can't. I'd like to be able to hear into my old age, and I gotta protect what hearing I get. So I'm not a safety, you know, I'm not one of those guys. You do what you feel comfy with. I believe safety starts in your head. And but yeah, hearing protection is something that I just won't go without, especially in portage saws. Portage saws are so loud. We got to see if this thing has spark. Get that spark plug boot fits really, really tight. That's good. That's what we want. We got to pull this plug out. I'm going to change this plug. It is the incorrect plug. I don't know. Again, these old saws, you never know where they've been, who's owned them. You really got to look them over, especially a saw like this. Around here, everybody had one of these back in the day, so it's not a this isn't a logging saw. Guys that run saws for a living, you learn pretty quick how to maintain your saw. So that's a brand new plug. I have no clue what it is. It doesn't even have a heat rating on it. So we're gonna take the plug out of the other saw and put her in here. Okay, let's hope we have spark. Let's hope we have spark. Cross your fingers. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Okay. That's one thing on Homelites. Check the spark. A lot of these coils are no good. Apparently the coating they used, apparently the sealer they use breaks down over time and it lets fuel in. Like this one, I can see there's a gap. I might put some high temp red around the edges of this. This one works good though, so something to take note of on Homelites. They are known for bad coils. You'll find a mint saw, buy it for nothing, and think you got a smoking deal to find out it needs a coil. Well, guess what? A lot of them need coils, and you're not going to find a coil. I have some ideas. I'm going to try and go through my coils. I'm going to try and mount a coil from like a Husqvarna onto one and see how it runs, and put that on video. I think that would be a good thing to have for everybody online to see. Okay, let's get off there, flies. I don't know if you guys saw that, but this fuel tank's a little scuzzy, but let's put some fuel in this thing and see what we got. I'm just grabbing my fuel tank, guys. These saws here, I generally run like 45 to 1. I don't even know if this fuel line is all the way in there, or the guy said he made one. It looks all right. I don't know, he was trying. The same problems we all have. These fuel lines are hard to get and they're always missing or broken. I generally run like 45 to 1 in my saws. These, I think we're gonna go like 32 to 1. I don't know. I don't like getting into oil conversations, but we'll see. Okay, guys, let's pull this thing over and see what's it gonna do. Give her a good tuggy tug. Okay, where are the jets at? What did I do with my tuning screwdriver? Where are our jets at? I don't expect this to start. Oh, the low. There you go. Here's another situation. The low jet on this thing is at a quarter turn out. This thing ain't running with a quarter turn low jet, I'll tell you that right now. Okay, half, 1, we go 1 1/4. What's the high jet at? Oh, the high jet's close too. Lovely. I'm doing this, I'm trying to film as much as I can, guys, because a lot of you guys are saying you're learning. Okay, choke's on. We open the jets. You ain't gonna start with jets closed. Okay, we're not done yet. If it doesn't start like right away, we're gonna get biblical on it. What I usually do, I'll put a little bit of fuel in like a cap or okay. I'm gonna dump a little fuel right down the throat, just a little bit. Probably too much. It doesn't matter though. I want this thing. Pull the trigger, put the choke bag on. Okay, ready? This thing should go pop right now. If it doesn't, we're pulling the carb. Oh, it wants to go. Okay, let's do a carb swap on this. I'm going to pause you and just swap it. It's 2 bolts, pull the fuel line off, and away you go. That's all it takes, guys. If it does that, you know it's probably going to run. Put a carb kit in it. RK23HS for these. I'll be back. Okay, I put the carb off the other saw in here. Let's see what we got now. This thing should flash like right away. Just angle you guys down here. Every time we get an old saw, this is what we do. We're gonna dump some fuel down the throat again. These old saws, sometimes they like a little drop of fuel. Just move you guys back here. There we go. Pull trigger. Put the choke bag on. Okay. Here we go. this thing up and put it in the wood. I gotta figure out which exhaust screws go into here. I got my exhaust screws a little mixed up, so. I'm gonna bar this thing up, guys. I'm gonna throw any old bar and chain on it. Probably the same one I've been running for the other saw. Put this thing in the wood. I think I might tack this saw. I'm curious as to RPMs. I'm gonna be a little bit more scientific for you guys this time, I think. And for myself, I'm curious what kind of RPMs does this saw pull. Okay, so we're gonna bar this thing up and we'll go outside and just cut a piece of wood. It's super windy today. I'm probably not gonna talk when we're outside. I'll come back in. There's like, I don't know, 40-mile-an-hour wind steady. I'll be back. There you guys go. It runs, might have a small air leak. Fuel line's kind of questionable, but just want to get it running. What did we see on the tack? Idle speed's like 2750. Saw was pulling about 8 grand in the cut. My tack's been acting up lately, so it is what it is. This thing's getting kind of beat up. It's Easy Tack 328. It's a nice tack. It works okay. I'm not as happy with it as I hoped I was. It's like $100 tack. It works. I usually just use it for setting up idle. It has wireless and wired capabilities. But there you guys go. I think we got a small air leak at the carb. It's not a bad one. Not bad enough I'll burn the saw down, but that's the 130 Super. We're going to start on this one. These saws run good. And let's see what we can do. So maximum RPM that I'm seeing on my tack, it's a little questionable. I'm seeing about 10,000 RPM is what this thing's spooling up to, 10.5. So let's work with that. We'll say she's about 10.5 max speed and about 8 grand in the cut. Not too bad for an old reed saw, guys. That's incredible numbers. We're not going to go as far on this one. Now that I have good numbers, I never tacked the last saw. I never had a chance to. Now that we have good solid numbers, we're going to build upon that. Deep thoughts with the Tin Man. Now I got to decide what I want to do with this thing. This thing runs good. Oh yeah. Hey guys, this is the 130 Super. I put a 76 recoil. We'll make this recoil happen. Strong saw. I'm gonna say, I think this one pulls a little harder than the last one did stock. Difference, ignition coil. I don't know if it's just the particular saws or this one's you know, extra strong, or whether it's the ignition coil. There you guys go. 130 Super. These are good saws. I think this is one of Homelite's best saws. I honestly do. I've run quite a few Homelites. This thing's got a slight air leak. I noticed on my tack's acting funny lately. I think I'm gonna buy like a still tack, or my tack's kind of, I don't know. I think I'll try changing the battery in it first, but it's giving me some funny readings. In the cut load is exactly book spec. I think book's about 8 grand. That's what I saw. At 8 grand, these things pull freaking hard. They're not super fast. I'm gonna say, guys, this saw looks faster than it is on film. Stock. That's softwood, and I got my rakers set for softwood and razor sharp chain. So, but this will pull it. This will pull a low raker. This is a torque saw. You could cut darn near anything with this saw all day long. So, I'm really happy with it. I think we're gonna dig into this 130 Super first. I gotta rig up a fuel line. I gotta get timing numbers, figure out whether I'm machining the cylinder. I think I will on this one, and go from there. As of right now, this one runs better than the last one we did out of the box. Other than the slight air leak, but it pulls harder. So this is what we want. So we're probably going to focus on this one. I do have another one over there, and I think I'm picking up 2 more tomorrow for parts. But we're going to focus on this 130 Super and go from there. This one's a little turdier than the other one, but some people like turdy saws. I do. They got character. I like driving an old truck. So there you guys go. 130 Super. We're going to dig right into this. As always, thanks for watching. Take her easy, everyone.